Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz Jr. have gone face-to-face for the first time ahead of their fight on June 1st at Madison Square Garden, Ruiz Jr. being the late replacement opponent for this fight, hence the reason they haven't gone head-to-head before this point. So we're only a couple of days out from the fight, and we got to see the two together, and obviously you can see here on screen the height difference. It is apparent here. Joshua, the much taller man. Ruiz Jr. has been described as being 6'3" by promoter Eddie Hearn, listed as 6'2" on BoxRec, and maybe that's been slightly generous, maybe 6'1" at best. Definitely, whatever the case here, is the much smaller man, and it underscores the height advantage Joshua has here. But also, the reach advantage is going to be important in this fight. Joshua with an 8-inch reach advantage, which will be significant. But Ruiz is saying he's going to overcome the odds. He's going to really come through and become the first Mexican-American heavyweight champion and bring those belts back to Mexico. He's been relentlessly positive in this fight, and we saw that in the press conference. No bad blood towards Anthony Joshua. Just really wants to get in there, do his job, and shock the world. So what I'll do now is get to a bit of a montage from the press conference, and then on to some statements that Ruiz has also made in the build-up to this fight, and I'll touch on some thoughts that David Haye has on this fight as well. So buckle in. Let's go.
Someone sent me a direct message on Instagram. I'm fighting Saturday. Give me this fight. I will fight harder than any of the names you've mentioned, and I will give you a better fight, and I will beat Anthony Joshua. And I have to say, from this side of the table, we respect Andy Ruiz for stepping up and taking the opportunity, and we know that we're in for one hell of a fight on Saturday night.
Andy knows what it's like to be a fighter when you've got this opportunity in front of you, what can come after. So naturally, we always look past. So when I was kind of fighting for that title, I always had my eyes on the next challenge, and the next challenge, hoping to get to the next one. Fighting Andy, for me, is just as dangerous as fighting Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury, because they both possess their own skills, and it's a banana skin fight for me in both aspects. So I've got to take Andy deadly serious. I don't overlook him at all. I respect him, I respect his whole team, and I really respect the fact that he put his name on the dotted line to take this challenge. No challenge is easy, no matter what the bookmakers say or the odds are telling you. Andy's going to come in here, as we all know, and give me a real good fight, cause problems, and it's down to me as a champion to think smart, box clever, and out-skill, out-strength, and out-muscle Andy Ruiz to get that win. June 1st, I put them up in the air, and they're up for grabs. So may the best man win. I wish you well. Good luck. Look, UK has been with me from the start, from grassroots, so I'll never forget where home is and where I'm fighting. But as a world champion, you have to fight around the world, so there's no problem with me. As I said, I love boxing because all you need is a ring, a coach, and a boxing bag. And we can take this setup, training camp, like we did to Miami, New York. We can fight anywhere in the world, so there's no problem with me fighting around the world, but I'll never forget where my home is and where the base is for me, and that's in UK.
Been waiting for this all my life. Been training so hard since my last fight against Alexander Dmytrenko. I think it came in a perfect timing to fight against Anthony Joshua. And those belts look really shiny, really good, man. And I'm just ready. I'm ready for June 1st. I'm ready to become the first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world. I'm ready to bring those belts back to Mexico. Well, they've never been in Mexico, but they're going to be on June 1st. I don't really have nothing bad to say about Anthony Joshua. He's a champion. I'm a fan of him. I respect him, but inside of the ring, there's not going to be no respect. There's not going to be no fans, no friends, but all I can tell you is to tune in June 1st at the Madison Square Garden. There's going to be a hell of a fight. I'm going to give it all I got, and we're going to win this from Mexico. Viva Mexico!
And you can see here on screen here a bit of a nice moment from the press conference. Joshua allowing Ruiz to hold his belts, and many would probably say that might be the only opportunity he gets. But Ruiz has been relentlessly positive and optimistic in the lead up to this fight, saying, look, I'm going to shock the world. I'm bringing those belts back to Mexico. I'm going to turn my haters into fans. And I actually, he may well be able to do that even in a loss here, because I remember after the Joseph Parker fight, a lot of Joseph Parker fans became Andy Ruiz Jr. fans after that fight because of the good and close performance that he had against Joseph Parker, narrowly losing that fight. Some believe he did win. I scored that one a draw. And Ruiz, he is saying he is going to become like Canelo. He's bringing those belts back to Mexico. In terms of significance, he says, I'll be like Canelo. I'm trying to be like Canelo. Everybody loves fast, explosive guys, and I'm trying to get to that level. I've met him a few times. He wished me luck as well, which gives me that extra motivation. Having some guys like that tell me, good luck, you can win. They're people that know boxing, and they know what I have, know what I can do, and know I can win the fight. A lot of Mexican fighters have Chavez Sr., Chavez Jr. And the main thing is, I believe I'm ready and focused. It feels good. That confidence and having people like that believing in you gives you an extra boost. There is a lot of pressure on me, but it just gives me that extra boost and motivation. This is a big opportunity for me, my family, especially Mexico. I'll make history here. A legacy out of my name. Being the first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world is going to prove a lot of people wrong. I'm here to win. And Ruiz has been talking about becoming the first Mexican heavyweight champion. I'd note he was born in the United States, but he obviously does have Mexican heritage. And there has been a lot of confusion online about, was John Ruiz, was he actually the first Mexican heavyweight? But I did double check that one, because that has been sort of popping up in comment sections, and he is of Puerto Rican ancestry. So Ruiz does claim to be the first Mexican heavyweight champion if he can beat Anthony Joshua. And Ruiz says, it'll be amazing for me, my kids, and my country. There's never been a Mexican heavyweight champion of the world, so we're going to get those belts and bring them back to Mexico. I didn't think I would come to this level. A lot of people doubted me. They said, this chubby kid won't do nothing. He's not in shape, but I keep pursuing my dream. I kept training hard and put all the negative stuff to the side. I believed in myself. Everybody has been underestimating me from day one, and that gives me an extra motivation to work harder. Yes, we need to work harder on the body, but it doesn't make you a great fighter, having a six-pack. What makes a great fighter is having heart and throwing punches. It's what's on the inside. It's passion and courage to fulfill my dreams and accomplish my goal of becoming the first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world. So Andy Ruiz Jr. is confident heading into this fight. I know there have been some who do say that he appears just happy to be here, but I do believe he believes he can win this fight. If he can get on the inside and land some significant punches, he might be able to do some damage on Anthony Joshua, although the bookies, and fans in general aren't really expecting that to happen. But I do believe he will put up a credible performance in this fight, and there will be people saying after it, actually Andy Ruiz Jr. is better than I thought. He is a good fighter. And David Haye, he's also weighed in on this fight ahead of it, telling the Mirror, if you didn't know who he was, so he was a boxer, you could go into any pub and drag a random man out and he would be in better physical condition, appearance-wise, than Andy Ruiz. On paper and in reality, it could be a decent matchup, but when you look at a prime athlete standing next to someone who looks like they don't take their health and fitness seriously, it puts a dampener on the fight. I'm fully aware that everyone has a different body shape, but there's body fat and there's body fat. But he only had 6 weeks notice, and ideally for a fight against Joshua, you need 12 to 15 weeks of serious, hardcore preparation. He took the opportunity to earn money he will never earn again, to fight the best heavyweight on the planet. But believe it or not, he is much better than people give him credit for. His appearance might actually give him an advantage because people think he's fat and he turns up and can punch for 12 rounds and grind people down. Hopefully Joshua doesn't look at him and think it'll be an easy night's work. As long as Joshua has trained as if he's fighting Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder, then he will win the fight pretty easily. The only chance Joshua has of struggling is if he underestimates Ruiz. And Joshua's spoken about this is something that he can't actually afford to do, that he has to treat it like it is Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury in the ring. So I don't think Joshua will underestimate him, but you can't underestimate what Ruiz may be able to do in there, but if Joshua can keep him at distance and tag him on the way in as he tries to get to the inside to work Joshua's body or head, I think Joshua can handle Ruiz and break him down over time. What do you make of it all? Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.